So in this video, I want to talk about travel for wildlife photography. And we all know how difficult it can be when you're traveling and you have all your photography gear with you. And we always struggle with space and sticking within the small allowance that the airlines give you. So I wanted to give you guys some options for what Tragopan have that is lightweight, easy to take with you. You want to do some wildlife photography, you need some camouflage. So first off then, I want to talk about two hides that is lightweight, but they're quite different in their approach. So I will use either one of these two when I know exactly what I am photographing. If I am photographing something where I want to be sitting, so it could be, mammals or anything like that, anything that I don't need to be all the way down to the ground, I would bring something like Grouse V Plus. It is a pop-up hide, fast to use. You could also go for the awning with it, which means that you have a little back end to it and makes it easier to lie down for photography as well. It has a window at the bottom, so you can use it to shoot out the bottom if you want. Now this weighs about 3.5 kilograms, so it is a little bit more bulky than some of the other lighter options that I'm going to show you later. About 50 centimeters diameter, but it packs so flat that you could easily put this on top of your clothes or anything like that in your suitcase and just, make sure you have enough weight allowance for it. If you're traveling for a specific species and you're lying down, say one of the grouse species had a lek or something like that, Hockey V3 is your go-to hide. It is lightweight, weighs about 2.65 kilograms. You could easily put this into your suitcase. Length of it is about 55 centimeters. And as you can see here, it packs up quite small. So those are the two hide options that I would recommend for travel. They do take up a few kilograms, so if you can't afford that, we're going to go into some of the camo gear that Tragopan has to offer, which is even more lightweight, and they're quite adaptable. You could make sort of a rough emergency hide out of some of these items. An ideal piece of kit is the Poncho. And especially if you're going somewhere where it's quite rainy, say you're going to a rainforest or something like that, and you even just want to stay dry. And as you can see here, it folds up very small and it weighs about 600 grams. I've used this in a lot of situations before. You can even use it as a tarp to create a little bit of shelter. So there's loads of adaptable ways you can use this. A couple of years ago, I was using the Poncho photographing the mountain hare. And not strictly speaking necessary for the camouflage, but I was lying on wet heath and it was pouring down rain. So I put one of these on and that meant that I had that slightly thicker waterproof cover between me and the ground, and I was comfortable and I could lie there for hours. And that's sometimes what you have to do with mountain hares because they don't always move during the day. So sometimes you have to wait until it just gets up a little bit, stretches, shakes its rain off, and then it goes back down. So being prepared for the elements is going to go a long way. Now, if you don't care so much about the rain and you want to go even lighter, at 370 grams, we got the 3D Camo Poncho. Super lightweight, folds up, very easy. And again, this is an item that you could, adapt a little bit, hang it between two trees or something like that if you want to photograph birds at a loch or anything like that. You just need something to hide behind. If not, throw it over yourself. And there we go. Comes with a little hood. So fairly simple, lightweight poncho you can bring with you anywhere, and it hardly takes up any space or weight in your baggage. If you want to go the extra mile, we got the 3D Camo outfit, and it comes with trousers or pants depending on where you're watching from, jacket, a hat, and a balaclava. Covers you up really well, folds up, super small, and altogether this weighs under 500 grams. So another really viable option if you're traveling and you want to stay lightweight. In the shop, you can also find some accessories that you might want to get if you're considering any one of these options. And they're all really lightweight, but they can help you cover up even more. 3D camo gloves, you know, perfect to go with the poncho, the outfit, or even something like a blanket or anything like that, and you just want to have extra camouflage for your hands. Really good, because your hands can sometimes give you away, especially if you live in a place like me and hardly ever see the sun. It's quite bright. So, pair of gloves, 3D camo for your lens, unless you already have some way to camouflage your lens. Do check out our growing collection of Cam Shield products, which cover up and protects your lens. We got several options for all types of environments. And then we got for your tripod. So we got the 3D camo legs for your tripod. You really want to blend in, and you know, these products here go really well with the 3D camo outfit, the 3D camo poncho, blanket, any one of these. You may have seen one of the Tragopan videos before, where I've used a lot of these products together and basically just become invisible in the forest. One of my favorite pieces of kit that I just took to Norway when I went traveling is the 3D camo blanket. Very adaptable piece of kit, and the new edition now, as you can see here, has a sleeve for your lens as well to put through, and you know, kind of covers up your lens in one go. Now there are so many ways that you can use this blanket, and that's what I love about it. So you could wrap yourself around it, you could lie under it, you could attach it to some trees, or even what I did in Norway when I was photographing near water. There was no trees there, so I made myself some sticks, carved out some spiky bottoms for it, so I could just drive it into the ground, and I can have this as a little hang between the sticks. And it's worked really well. I've also been using it a little bit here to photograph a dipper, and on the loch just behind me here, starting to get close to great crested grebe breeding season, so you know, quick and easy, something like this. And sometimes I'll bring a ground mat as well, but if I don't have space for it, I'll pick one up where I'm going or borrow something. Somebody will always have a yoga mat or something, or maybe you're not even going somewhere cold and wet and you can just lie down on the ground. The 3D camo blanket weighs about 660 grams. As you can see, it folds up really well. Roll it up and you'll save loads of space and weight on that. Now on the website you can also find camo nets. They come at a variety of sizes, so best to look up what you need. Some of the bigger ones you may not want to travel with, but something like this, ideal. And what I really like about some of them is that they have a white underside on one and a brown, more camouflage cover on one side. So if you're going somewhere cold where there's snow, you may want to get something like this, and you can use this in the snow to cover up the swell. You know, even if you have an existing hide, something like this, turn it inside out with the whiteness showing and you cover up your hide in snow. You may have seen this from last year. I used it in the forest here. I had one of these up over the Mono V2, and as soon as the snow came, I just went over, I flipped the camo net around, and it blended in perfectly with its environment. So as you can see, these folds up really nicely, but there is quite a lot of it, and you can make yourself a really nice camouflaged hide or just a net to sit behind. You may have seen a couple of years ago, I took one of these to Spain and I was photographing the spotted flycatcher that was feeding right in the garden, and I just wanted to get very close to it. So I hung up one of these, I sat behind it and just relaxed in the nice heat photographing the spotted flycatcher. Also, you may want to pick up a scrim, which you can wear around your neck, which just cover up a little bit more. Perfect when you're already sitting behind something and you just want that little bit of extra camouflage, or even just wear around your neck, and it keeps you a little bit warmer as well. We also have some really good ghillie camouflage. But since they're a little bit more bulky and a little bit heavier, I haven't recommended them here, but if you are interested in that, do check them out on the website. So I hope that gave you a little bit of a look into and inspiration for what kind of items you could consider if you're traveling for wildlife photography. Remember, you want to stay lightweight and you want it to fold up nice and small, because we have enough photography gear that we travel with that we don't want to waste too much weight bringing additional items as well. But depending on what you're photographing, you very often want to bring some camouflage with you. So I hope that was useful, and if you want to pick up any one of these products, it is photographyblinds.com for US and Canada, and it is Tragopan-shop for Europe and the rest of the world. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.